Hey, Shalom. I like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. I like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect. Now, the title of this lesson is going to be Seek Out Wisdom Within the Knowledge. Seek out wisdom within the knowledge. And through my years within being in this truth, the Lord showcases men who just possess knowledge, and then the Lord showcases men who possess knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You don't want to be likened unto an individual that just has the knowledge, because when you read, I believe it's First Corinthians or it might be Second Corinthians, the 8th chapter, it tells us knowledge puffeth up. Now if you don't go through certain situations or tribulations and come out on the other side, um, going through that furnace of adversity, all you're gonna have is knowledge, and you're not gonna know nor have the experience of being humble. You don't think you know it all and not being chastised, for certain times that you may have gone off, and things of that nature. So, this lesson is pretty much focusing on, you know, seek out the wisdom within the knowledge, because the wisdom is the application, of the knowledge and understanding that you possess, and when you have wisdom, you're going to move in a godly manner, in a righteous manner, and not, you know, go beyond your wits or go beyond your understanding and claim yourself to be right or deem yourself to be right, because, I've seen guys that lean upon their own understanding, and it got them rebuked. It got them kicked out the body. It got them showcasing themselves to be a demon. You know, so you always want to be, you always want to make sure that you're right in the spirit. And that's why the scriptures also speak upon um make counsel going before every enterprise. Roughly paraphrasing. So the first scripture I got right here is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom." That's the principal thing when it comes to this truth, because it's the action and the application of knowledge and understanding. That's why it's the principal thing within this faith. The Lord judges us by our actions. The Lord judges us by the words that we also speak. So that's why we gotta have wisdom and desire it. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." Because if you don't have understanding, you can't apply wisdom. You know, you got to know what you're talking about. First of all, you got to know what you're talking about, understand what you're talking about, then apply it. You know, you never want to fly off of the handle within this faith. That's why the scriptures speak upon let me see if I can find it. Yielding. Forgot exactly how it was worded. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. And this is wisdom, the Lord, because what this is Solomon, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 4. "If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding passive great offenses." If you got somebody over you in the spirit, and judgment comes upon you, of course, righteous judgment, comes upon you, and you weighing all the matters out and things of that nature. However, you may feel that you're not wrong in a situation, or this particular brother is being too harsh, or whatever the case may be. The Lord said, "Leave not thy place," and pretty much what? Hold your tongue, or whatever the case may be. But it has to be righteous judgment. It got to be a righteous decision, and not just a decision or a choice to antagonize a brother or attempt to get a brother out of character, or placing judgment on a certain brother for your own particular benefit. The Lord is not dealing with men like that. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is not dealing with men like that. The Lord is dealing with righteous, sincere men. So it says, "If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place." The yielding passive great offenses. Yielding, like here it is, you coming onto a highway. You you would yield, you will stop or you will slow down and look to see if there's oncoming traffic, to see if you have the right of way to go. The same way in response when it comes to dealing with the brotherhood, you want to yield because that's going to pacify great offenses, and offenses is what causing one to stumble. So you don't want to be you want to be blameless within this faith. You understand? You want to be blameless within this faith. So the next scripture I got here is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. Why? Because all he has is the knowledge. That all he has is the knowledge. He can talk a good game. You understand? He can talk a real good game, but when it comes to applying the words that he's speaking on, he's unprofitable. This individual could be labeled as a hypocrite. And that's why being a prophet and a man of the Lord is the most serious job that you can possibly have on this planet Earth, because you're a mouthpiece of the Lord. Why you think the Apostle Paul made the statement, "For I keep my body in subjection, least when I preach to others, I myself shall be a castaway." The Apostle Paul feared the Lord. He didn't want to be a hypocrite. So he watched what he said, and whatever he said, he made sure he moved according to it to the best of his ability. So you don't want to be likened to that individual that's wise and teach many. Everybody's, phased and, mesmerized by the oracles that you may speak. But when it comes to your own dwellings, when it comes to, you moving about within the world, you're not practicing what you preach, so to speak. The Lord sees all of that, and the Lord takes account of all of that. So you want to watch your words and you want to watch your actions. Because you don't want to be found unprofitable. Anybody that's unprofitable, you're useless, pretty much. There's no use for you. Next scripture. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 16, and this is also how you gain wisdom, by going through and enduring and coming out on the other side of tribulations. Not getting butt hurt when things, so-called don't go your way. The Lord is trying us all out. That's why, because the Lord at the end of the day, it wants to give you a spiritual blessing. So he's going to put you through something in order for you to obtain it. This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 15. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. That's right. So you got to commit yourself unto wisdom. The her that is talking about is wisdom. Once you commit yourself, you will inherit, wisdom. It will become you, right? And his generation shall hold her in possession. We are of that generation that is holding, wisdom near and dear. We have the hope for elect, because we are that generation which the Lord revealed his word unto. Verse 17, it says, "For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline." That's how wisdom comes at you. It's going to put you through hard times. It's going to put you through struggles. It's going to put you through tribulations. However, if you don't go through anything, or you get put in a situation to where you got to make a righteous judgment, and you fall short, so to speak, how do you expect to gain wisdom? Look, the Lord is proving us as friends. We had our whole life to be wicked. We had a whole life to go contrary to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why at this present moment, when the Lord reveals his word unto us, we got to strive to the best of our ability to stay in pocket, Lord willing, So it says, "For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline." Because, hey, the Lord brings fear and dread upon you, man. The Lord brings fear and dread upon you, for you to move cautiously and righteously within his faith. It says, "For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. Now don't get it twisted, like the Apostle Paul, mentioned, I believe was that Romans the 7th chapter. Sometimes he does the things that he don't want to do, you know, and that's this flesh that we in, you know. A man's righteousness is as filthy rags. We're not perfect, but we striving to be perfect, you know. And this is why, you know, the Lord, well, the Lord said, blessed is he whose iniquity, blessed is he who the Lord, matter of fact, let me grab it right fast. I don't wanna butcher it. Psalm 32:1, right? It says, blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom Yahweh imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. So you got certain men, here on this earth, sighing and crying for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, whose sin is already covered, whose sin is covered because the Yahweh Shai ultimately died for the elect's sins. Ultimately the whole nation, but first and foremost the elect. And we go in through our tribulation now, so we don't have that judgment with the rest of the world. So it says, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. That's why, when you first come into this thing, to this faith of ours, you find yourself catching a lot of hell, because that's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai testing you to see if he could trust you and see if wisdom will dwell with you. It's testing to see if your soul is malicious or not. It says, then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. So after the hell that we go through, we get comforted, and we receive what? Secrets, more knowledge, more wisdom, more understanding, more spiritual discernment. That's all part of the comfort. The Lord spoke upon in Hebrews how it yielded forth the peaceable fruit of righteousness, after the chastisement. So we're not supposed to despise the chastisement of the Lord, no matter what shape, form, or fashion that it may come in. Guys that buck up, and get butt hurt, that's a case and example of them despising the chastening. To be a man of the Lord, you gotta be a man first, man. Simple. And that's because what does America do? The vibration of America teaches you to be emotional. Don't get it twisted. We all are emotional, but it's a fact of not acting upon those emotions. You got to rule your spirit, and that's all a part of seeking out the wisdom. Good wisdom books is what? Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. Those are books to teach you how to conduct yourself. If you feel like you lack wisdom, read those books, and apply it. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 20. It says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. And we're approaching that time, so we'll be eating of the fruits. We working and toiling now, so the Lord allows us to receive some of the fruits of our labor, But the ultimate fruit that we're waiting on is the kingdom of heaven. It says, verse 20, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. Wisdom, those who are actually unlearned, and really emotional, wisdom is unpleasant unto them. They don't know how to apply the knowledge and understanding. It says, he that is without understanding will not remain with her. So if you don't really understand what this truth is about, it's but so long that you're going to last. It's but so, and the examples are out there, of men who lacked wisdom. The Lord got rid of them, and one of the worst, delusions that you could have is still think you are part of this truth, when the Lord already spewed you out. That's why we got to be humble, be humble. The Lord said, for every idle word that men speak, he shall be held accountable in the day of judgment, man. He says she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from her from him it belong. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. And that's the proof. You know, the proof is in the pudding. She is not manifest unto many. You want wisdom to manifest itself unto you. You know, so that showcases that the Lord loves you, and the Lord's dealing with you and have mercy upon you. You know, last and final scripture, the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Let's end it off at verse 20. It says, therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. You know, your conduct, the way you manner yourself, the way you deal with the brotherhood. You know, that's all wisdom. You know, wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy getting, get understanding. So we've got to make sure we in pocket with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, and if you feel a way about a brother, you know, ultimately you feel a way about Yahushua. Read Matthew the 25th chapter. You know, when you feed a brother, you fed the Lord. You give a brother drink, you give the Lord a drink. You visit a brother, you visited Yahushua. If you talk down on a brother, you're talking about Yahushua. You know, the men that you look, we don't know who the elect is, so you want to deal with brothers in sincerity and in truth and according to the protocol of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And not all brothers is going to get along. You got certain men out there that could be men of the Lord and of the elect. However, in this present time, they're not going to get along. Not all spirits, you know, mesh, so to speak. Look at an example of Paul and Barnabas. You know, so it's a matter of, you know, taking everything into account in its rightful perspective in the spirit of the Lord. You know, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. You know, find wisdom within the knowledge, or seek out wisdom within the knowledge. You know, with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.